We got a bill, and then we realized that you guys didn't have our insurance, so we sent you the insurance, and it looks like the bill went up.
So I don't normally jump on that health insurance is a scam, but today it is absolutely a scam, and I swear it's fraud.
Hello, everybody. To anybody who has been wondering where I've been, I've been sick, but I'm here now. Apologize for being away. Today we're going to be talking about medical insurance and why it's, probably a scam. Let's just be honest. So let's get into some of those videos.
Medical insurance is such a scam. I just had to take my kid to the urgent care and we are uninsured. So because we have no insurance, we have to pay cash out of pocket. So out of pocket cost to be uninsured is $175 for a visit to the doctor. The lady next to me had insurance. Guess how much her copay was? $180. It was $5 cheaper to be uninsured without a monthly payment. And then the medicine that they prescribed me was an antibiotic that, again, I had to pay for out of pocket because I'm uninsured. I went to the pharmacy, told them, hey, what's this going to cost? They said $80. I typed that coupon into GoodRx. Guess how much I got it for? $20. With insurance, an antibiotic is like $10. What is their purpose? Medical insurance is such a scam. I just had.
Okay, well, the ending of there messed me up a little bit, but yeah. A lot of the videos are going to be a lot like this, right? Where you're paying out of pocket it's cheaper than the insurance. Like somehow the insurance is going to end up costing you more. Sometimes it's a little bit. Sometimes it's like the exact same amount. I think in a couple occasions it'll be a little bit less than some people who have to pay out of pocket in a couple occasions. But at the end of the day, they're still going to end up paying out of pocket. And as she said, they're going to have those monthly bills. And some of the comments on videos like these are going to be interesting for sure. Let's see real quick. It's the catastrophic coverage you're missing, everyday stuff, no sweat. It's a broken leg or arm, independencies that will bankrupt you. Yeah, that's fair, right? Some of the things that really make the bill go up when you're paying out of pocket, right, is going to depend on the severity of what you have. Although I think some of the videos we're going to go over will probably have some semi-severe stuff where it's still cheaper to just pay out of pocket. So I don't know. Look at this. I'd rather go broke than not have health insurance. Learned that the hard way. Never again. See, these two comments basically for health insurance. Another one. It's all fine until you realize you have cancer or need a lung. Hospitals say that's when being uninsured will absolutely ruin you. Actually, when I was looking up the videos for this, I clicked on a couple just to see the beginning. There was a couple where people had cancer and the medical insurance did not help them. Maybe we'll see if we can find one of those right now. Let's go on to the next video. Okay, I did find the cancer video I was talking about. This one I watched a bit of the beginning of. Yeah.
Someone please explain to me how my insurance company can legit just deny cancer surgery, like out of every kind of fucking surgery that there is for little, like 5 nodules on my lungs. My fucking insurance company denied me probably 5 times back to back to back, saying it was experimental of some shit. How is it if my doctor says that I need it to save me, to burn out spots in my fucking lungs? How does the insurance company get to decide that, oh, you know what? No, that's experimental. That's some bullshit. This happened over and over again with me. Please tell me this has happened with somebody else as well. They make you jump through fucking hoops, like have your doctor call and explain like why you actually need it. Why do they need to call and explain? Dude, like if they say you need it done, it should automatically just get like okayed 100%. The amount of fucking stress and nonsense that insurance companies put on top of cancer patients and really just freaking anybody is absolutely absurd to me.
Okay, well, there you go. This guy having some issues. So that's another thing, right? We're not necessarily talking about the price of how it might be cheaper for those bills in that sense. Just the insurance company approving it is a hassle in itself. And I feel like that's probably a lot of the bigger issues for big things like cancer. I've never really had real medical insurance. The closest I've ever had was, I think, when I worked at Lowe's. Maybe right now, actually, with my job, I think I have some medical insurance just because the company requires it. My coworker, for instance, got a infected finger when she got bit by a child, so she had to go to the hospital. And I think they technically pay for that, the company itself, with their insurance. But that's about it. That's really the only time I've ever had medical insurance. I, for instance, had to go to the hospital once because a moth crawled in my ear, and I think I paid like $500 total. I think. Did not have medical insurance. I paid that over time when I was in college. The point is, I would not get medical insurance. And even other insurances, right? Like car insurance, home insurance, they're going to try to rip you off. They're going to try to make you not, or trying to not pay it out. An example of this, or not pay all of it, sorry. An example of this with me would be a car accident my mother caused. The family, well, they had to pay $500 out of pocket, even though their insurance covered the rest of it. We did not have car insurance at the time. Basically, they just asked us if we could pay the $500 back, which is very nice of them. We've only managed to pay $200 back total. The point is, the insurance didn't cover all of it, right? And you're gonna hear a lot of stuff like that when it comes to insurance. Apologize for the little rant, and I hope that wasn't too confusing. I wanted to read this comment off real quick. The people denying these claims aren't even doctors. I just went through this with an $80,000 medication my daughter needed. Their excuse was she's not sick enough. If that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. I wish this dude the best of luck. Same thing with the dude in the comment and anybody else who's having issues like this. Let's go to the next video. I feel like I'm going to rant more and it's just going to sound like nonsense.
So let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, and that is the reality of having health insurance in the United States that doesn't actually pay for what you need it to pay for. I have a genetics test in 2 days that I've been waiting a full year for. I have received referrals from 3 different providers for this genetic testing, and this morning I just received this bill of what I'm expected to pay to get this genetic testing done on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. I spent all morning on the phone with my insurance company trying to get anyone at this provider's office to answer their phone, which they don't. I've been waiting a year for this appointment, and I'm gonna have to cancel it because there's no one who will answer my freaking phone call to get this sorted out. And there's no way that I can just randomly come up with $1,000 extra to pay for this. And it is devastating. It is devastating when you are chronically ill and you feel like you are finally making progress. And I was so stupid excited to be like, yes, finally I get to have this appointment. Only now I don't, because where am I gonna get this money from that I'm expected to pay in order to have the appointment? And yeah, I have private insurance. I have Aetna that I pay way too much to have every month. And I've done everything I needed to do to secure this appointment. And this is the situation I'm in 2 days before it. Love it.
So if you can't see it for some reason, she has to pay a total of $914.17. That's nuts. And as she said, she has insurance. That's nuts. The world's disgusting. Look at this message. I've had a similar experience at the same location. I believe she put Wellstar Kenstone Hospital. Not sure where that's located. Asked what self-pay would be. They said $2,100. Decided to go through insurance. They billed insurance $11,000, and guess what I ended up owing? $2,100. I think that's kind of funny. Still messed up, but kind of funny. I'm sorry you're going through this. I work in medical billing world, and I promise that we hate insurance, as much as you do. I believe that. I've seen providers who are legit international leaders in a disorder of their field get on the phone with insurance for something that patients absolutely need, but the insurance company will deny because they don't feel that it's medically necessary. The health share programs are even worse. To remark on that comment, remember the last video with the comment, the father, right? He had $80,000 for his daughter's medication. It wasn't medically necessary, or his cancer, the cancer patient. It's insurance companies trying to get out of whatever they can. There's a story, for instance, with my uncle and his house insurance. Not obviously the same thing, but I'd say similar. All insurance. Basically, he needed something fixed in his house, and it was underneath the foundation of his house. I don't know what's up with my tongue. They didn't pay for it because it was underneath the foundation of his house. Insurance companies will do anything not to pay out. Anything they can. And even when they do, you're still going to be paying out of pocket. Just like the people my mom hit with my van. Go to the next video.
We're 5 weeks out from open enrollment, the day when we can all sign up for our health insurance. I took a closer look over the last week and realized that sky-high prices continue. I have a family of 4 and I'm paying over $25,000 a year solely on health insurance premiums, over $2,000 a month, and my deductible is still $7,500, which means my insurance doesn't really kick in until I spend $7,500 on medical costs that are actually in network. I'm at the point, honestly, where I'm thinking about foregoing health insurance entirely, which sounds like a pretty crazy and scary concept, but here we are. And how did we get here? Well, full disclosure, I used to work for a major Fortune 20 health insurance company for over half a decade. Know a thing or two about how we got here. I spent some time working on legislation, regulation, and legal issues, and I'll break it down for you. So, before the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, insurance companies were actually able to deny people insurance if they had complex medical conditions and or pre-existing conditions, commonly termed. And then after Obamacare passed, insurance companies could no longer deny anyone who wanted insurance. And they also were further restricted on what they were allowed to price the insurance based off. Think of risk factors. So now, on a go-forward basis, health insurers can only adjust your premium based on age, tobacco use, and location. So as a result, more people than ever now have health insurance, which is obviously a good thing, but the prices have skyrocketed as insurers are on the hook for ever-increasing medical procedures, hospital costs through the roof, drug prices are exorbitant and continue to increase, and the American population is generally morbidly sick and obese. Yeah, so here we are.
It's just real quick. If you're hearing a weird noise in the background, that's his video. Sounds like somebody's using a vacuum.
Honestly thinking long and hard about whether I just forego insurance entirely this year. Would love to have an extra $2,500 in my pocket a month to pay for food, eggs, which feel like they're $100 a carton now, and would love to hear what everyone else thinks. I'll share a story. I went to the ER last year actually because I passed out, fainted, couldn't walk, and my ER visit was actually more expensive because I had insurance and if I just paid cash, and then the ambulance ride was denied as, quote, not medically necessary by my health insurer. On top of this, I have 2 kids with pretty complex medical conditions. Most of the specialists they see are out of network, meaning they don't contract with insurance. And when I do submit a claim, my insurer denies it or pays pennies for the amounts owed. I'm not really sure where this goes from here, but I think it's fairly certain that health insurance prices will continue to increase. I'll make another video in November and let you know where I landed on if I ultimately opted in to this scheme or decided to risk it for another year. One tip when you go to shop for health insurance is that you get what you pay for. So if you think about a balloon, health insurance is really based on a premium, the amount you pay per month, and deductible, how much you need to pay before your health insurance kicks in. If you push on one side of the balloon, if you go for a lower premium, you're going to have a higher deductible. If you push for a higher premium, you're generally going to have a lower deductible. So those are some things to keep in mind. Let me know if you have any thoughts or recommendations if I should forego and risk it, or just bite the bullet, pay another 30 racks this year.
Okay, well, there you go. That's an interesting one. He pays $2,000 a month, and then at one point he said $2,500. I'm just gonna go with $2,000 a month, which is insane. That's crazy. $2,000 a month, and he said it still would have been cheaper for him to pay out of pocket, even though he's here at the end mentioning how obviously certain insurances are better than others, and paying more might make it cheaper. It feels like it doesn't feel that way at all. It doesn't feel that way at all. If you have a story about you having to go to the hospital, finding out you had to pay more because you had insurance, please let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear that. I feel bad that I'm like smiling so much. I don't know why these are just entertaining to me. I hope everything works out for everybody. I think he should just cancel his insurance and save that $2,000 each month. Maybe save up like $1,000, put it in the bank account. The other $1,000, I don't know. Do whatever you want, but save $1,000 each month, each paycheck. Maybe I don't know. Up to him. I'm guessing this dude makes good money, and he can just use that whenever he needs to for a medical mishap, we'll say. Let's go to the next video.
So I don't normally jump on that health insurance is a scam, but today it is absolutely a scam, and I swear it's fraud. I need an MRI on my back because I hurt my back. My clinic sent it over to a hospital. They ran it through my insurance. They called me and said, hey, your portion of it that you're going to have to pay after insurance is $5,100 for this MRI. So I'm like, wow, okay. I was like, before we do that, like, just wait, because I'm like, $5,100 just seems wild. I called another place who was also waiting for my insurance to go through to see how much it was going to be. My insurance was still on hold with them, but I asked them, hey, if I just cash pay this, how much is it going to cost for this MRI? And they're like, well, if you just want to cash pay it, not run anything through insurance, it's $700. And so I'm like, sounds a lot better than $5,100. So I called the original hospital back and said, hey, if I don't run this through insurance, what is the cost if I just decide to self-pay it, since I know the other place is $700? The lady's like, I'll rerun it under you being self-pay and I'll call you back with your total. So a few minutes go by, the lady calls me back and she goes, hey, I talked to my supervisor. Since you have insurance, we are not going to let you self-pay it, so we won't give you that number. How is that not a scam? Isn't it my choice if I want to self-pay something versus running it through my insurance? How I should get to decide that, not you, but they're like, nope, since you have insurance and you've already done it that way, we are not going to allow you to self-pay it. And I think that's because they probably were going to give me a self-pay price, kind of like the other place, maybe a $700, maybe up to $1,300, still way less than $5,100 that it was going to make me pay. And I just think, like, what if, somebody wouldn't, like, what if I wouldn't have called around? I would have been stuck with this $5,100 bill. Insurance is such a ripoff. I don't know how in the world this hospital is telling me that I now can't self-pay it. What does it matter? I'm going to go to the other place, but I don't know how this hospital is allowed to now tell me, hey, yeah, you can't self-pay something if you have already had us run it through your insurance. I haven't even had it yet.
So that's a crazy one. That difference is massive. $5,100 compared to $700. Just, that's insane. I hear a story like this and it makes me glad that I've never really had real medical insurance. Again, besides what I technically have had with Lowe's and the company I have now, which I didn't even sign up for. It's just there. That's insane. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Seriously, if anyone's been through any situation like this or knows someone who has, please tell me in the comments. I really want to know. I really, really want to know. Insurance, man. Huge ripoff. Look at this one. I was told it was insurance fraud when I asked to self-pay while I had insurance. I'm like, you're right. You are committing fraud on all of us. That's pretty accurate. I'm gonna like that. There was a video I was going to show, but I can't seem to find it right now. It was a guy who was literally on the phone with his insurance, whoever he had to pay, some medical bills, probably the hospital. And they mentioned how expensive his bill was because he had insurance. And he said, what would the price be if I didn't have it? I think it was like $300 or something. Still a lot to me, but obviously significantly cheaper than what he would have had to pay. I don't remember that amount. And in that video, he said, okay, well, can I just do it without? And they're like, no, you can't because you have the insurance. Okay, then he's like, so what if I cancel my insurance? Then can I do it without it? And they're like, no, because you already came and we already have your statement basically. And you are under an insurance right now. So we have to take it. That's basically what the video was. And I'm sorry I don't have that video right now. Maybe I can find it. We'll see, but I won't count on it. That one was a crazy one for sure. It's messed up. It's messed up. Let's go to the next video.
I'm so annoyed right now. I just called the imaging place in Missoula because I have a little lump I can feel like right here and I want to get it checked out. And I don't want to go to the doctor and get a referral and do all this bullshit. I just want to go to the place that's going to image it so they can take a look at it and do an MRI or a sonogram, whatever the hell they're going to do. And unfortunately, I just called the ear, nose, and throat place, and they're like, no, you can go get a referral from this person, then go to this person, and then you can come to us and we can image it. And I was like, well, I don't have insurance. I just want to pay cash. Can I just come in and get an image of my face? Can you use your image machine and look at my face and give me what you've come up with by looking at those images? I just want to know what that costs me out of pocket. No, sir, you'll have to go to another person that's going to charge you ridiculous amounts of money for 10 seconds of their time to refer you over to here so we can charge you ridiculous amounts of money for 20 seconds of our time. Now, to be clear, I don't have medical insurance because I make too much money to qualify for Medicaid or free medical insurance. And every time I try and get medical insurance, they want me to come out of pocket some astronomical amount to pay for tests and all kinds of things to make sure I'm a good candidate for their medical insurance. It is fucking ridiculous. Insurance is a scam. The healthcare system in America is so beyond fucked up. I hate it here sometimes. I really can't stand it. Okay, I don't hate America. I calm down a little bit. I love America. I just hate the healthcare system. All right, that's it. Have a good day. I'm so annoyed.
Okay, so I wanted to show that one. That's interesting, right? That dude makes too much money for like the free medical insurance. I've never had the free medical insurance, and I definitely I definitely could get it for sure. Yeah, that's rough. How often do you go to the hospital or vision or anything medical related? I guess the dentist. I think there's a couple videos out there that mention the dentist for it. I actually haven't been to a dentist in a very long time either. But the point is, I'm asking because I don't really go to any of these things. Vision, I got it for free when I went to a place called Job Corps, and I have just kept the same prescription. Honestly, I can see just fine with these glasses, so I'm doing okay. I haven't had to be to the hospital except for the moth thing, and I paid out of pocket for that. Like I said, that's really the only time I've been to the hospital or a doctor in years. Years. I mean, it's been over like maybe a decade and a half since I've had to go to the hospital or a doctor. Granted, I'm still young. I was younger then, but the point stands. How often do you have to go to the hospital to get things checked out? I know it's harder as you get older, but realistically, are you going because you actually need to, or are you just going because you're kind of worried about something like maybe like his lump? I don't know how serious that actually is. It's probably good to get it checked out, but regardless, how often do you go to the hospital? Let me know. Let me go to the next one.
America is ghetto, and health insurance is a fucking scam. Tell me why we, as in we, Teen One and I, go and see our primary care physician for something that needed to be checked out, and she gives us a referral for an MRI and wants us back in 2 weeks to go over the diagnosis and whatever. So we go to my doctor appointment, and while I'm checking out there, I get a call from the MRI imaging place saying that the doctor wants it done sooner than later. So they're like, I was like, okay, well, how soon? When's your next available? I'm thinking they're gonna say like Monday or Tuesday, right? On whatever. Anyway, so she's like, today. I was like, okay. So she says, we have this time available. And I was like, great, awesome, we'll be there. We get there, I start filling out all the paperwork. I give her my insurance cards. My insurance is new. And it's Blue California. So it's like Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't know how that works, but it's Blue California. Okay. So she tells me with my insurance that I pay about $400 a month for me and the 2 teenagers. And that is for the medical, the dental, and the vision. With insurance for the MRI today. And one was supposed to be like with contrast, one without. So anyway, it was going to be $896. $896 with insurance. Yeah. And she's like, or, you know, we have a cash price. And I'm just like in my head thinking like, girl, bye. Like, if that's the insurance price, there's no way that the cash price is going to be cheaper, right? I was so freaking wrong. So freaking wrong. She tells me the cash price, it's $290. $290 freaking dollars. So obviously, you know, pull out my debit card and pay for that to get done. But like, what the fuck am I paying all this money for? It just blows my fucking mind. It blows my fucking mind. Luigi did what he had to do, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay, well now we know where this person's political opinions are. But look at that, right? 896 with the insurance, I believe, and 290 without, so she's paid 600 less. Isn't that nuts? At least they let her do it too. That other MRI story we heard, the 5100, that's just ridiculous. I'm surprised hers is so cheap based off that other story. This one was recent though. This was the 5th of this month. I don't think the medical industry has really gone down in price recently, so it must have been where she went with that other one. Let's go to the next one.
Make this make sense, because I am baffled beyond. Like, I'm baffled by this. I go to the doctor for a common cold, like, hey, I'm not feeling great. I think it's a regular cold, but I'm not sure. This is what they charge for a 10-minute office visit. $10 office visit. Total charge is $666. I guess luckily I have insurance, so insurance adjustment, patient payments, and I still owe $81.86. What exactly did you guys do that cost $666? Tell me. I'm curious. I want to know. Because I sat there, I waited, I went into the office, and you guys told me it was a common cold, take over-the-counter drugs. A 10-minute office visit. Make it make sense. Now.
Okay, I'm not going to play that whole video. That is a lot of money, though. Let's see. $666. What a great number to get. I feel like that right there is already a bad omen. But he owed $81, and this was with insurance. I'm assuming the insurance probably helped him on this one rather than paying out of pocket. Because when I was in Job Corps, I actually had to go to an urgent care. I didn't have to. I didn't have to. Let me rephrase that. We went to an urgent care while I was going to Job Corps because I was a little sick and I just didn't really want to go to Job Corps. You know what I mean? My mom was like cool with it. She didn't know how much it was going to cost. Urgent care was the closest thing to where we live. Our bill was like $400, and that was just basically like what he did, where they checked him for it took 10 minutes, and it's like, oh yeah, you're like cold. For me, it was like I had a fever. That's it. It was like $400. Crazy, but it was urgent care. To be fair. So that's probably why his bill was so high for such a short visit. Still stupid, but that's something. I don't know. Do you think he would have had to pay less for this without the insurance? Based off all the other stories, I mean, I'd say yes, at least with theirs. I think in this case, he probably saved money having the insurance. Although, who knows how much he pays per month. Maybe he says in the video, but I don't feel like watching the whole thing. So let's go to the next one. Probably the last one, because I feel like I've probably been talking for a little while now. I don't know how long. Let's go to the next video. Okay, so this is actually the video I was talking about earlier. This will be the last one because I think this is an interesting one for sure.
Well, I think there's a mistake on the bill, but maybe you could help me out. We got a bill, and then we realized that you guys didn't have our insurance, so we sent you the insurance, and it looks like the bill went up.
It went up.
Yeah, the first bill we got without the insurance was $600, and then the second one was almost $1,300.
Okay. Yeah, so that the first invoice you received, that's a discount that you receive if you're uninsured. So you're not eligible for the discount since you are insured. And so the bill was $2,342.14. We billed your insurance. Your insurance only paid $1,078.85.
Can I go back to the discount without the insurance?
No, so you're insured, so you're not eligible for the discount.
If I go cancel my insurance, am I eligible for the discount?
No, sir, because we checked eligibility and you do have active coverage for data service.
Oh, I needed to cancel it before I got the service to get the discount.
You're only eligible for the discount if you're uninsured.
Okay, so I'll get cheaper health care if I'm uninsured.
If you're uninsured, you're eligible for the discount, correct?
Is this common? Like I pay for insurance and I end up paying more out of pocket because I pay for a premium? That's wild.
This is just a new law that passed or started 2024 AB 716, and the law is if you receive a discount if you're uninsured.
Okay.
So when we first send a invoice to the patient, we bill them as if they're uninsured. If you're insured, unfortunately, you're not eligible for the discount.
Okay, so just so I think
Okay. So I don't know if you saw it on there. It says this is not satire. Just, to prove that it's real. This is actually happening. He's paying, I think they said $1,300 is what he has to pay now, and it was $600 before they got his insurance. And it says this was a healthcare in America for a life-saving ambulance ride for my daughter. And this is obviously in California. The state of California is penalizing citizens who have insurance. It's not just California, buddy. It's everywhere. And it seems like it's been that way for quite a long time. I wouldn't say I knew a whole lot about medical insurance maybe around like Obama's presidency, right? I know his whole insurance policy basically made it illegal not to have medical insurance. I know that much about that general time period. I was not very into politics or how that was affecting the world. I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know how bad it was back then or before Obama passed that bill. If anyone here is old enough and remembers, please let me know. I'm curious, was medical insurance back then better than it is now? I meant to bring up some other things from earlier, like how some people will make reference to like Canada, right? Free health insurance, but they don't really bring up all the other defects of living in Canada, right? Or how other things are paid, right? Every country has its ups and downs. I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to bring that up because I didn't earlier. Let me go over these comments real quick, and that'll be the end. AB 716 prohibits hospitals from charging uninsured patients more than Medicare rates for ambulance rides. So the real issue is that you pay a premium to have worse coverage than Medicare. Okay? That's not California's fault. It's greedy insurance, and in this case, the ambulance company. But the fact that ambulances are not a public service is ridiculous. I actually agree with that one, with the ambulance thing. That should just be free. Ambulances are ridiculous. I've heard stories about that, right, where some people not the ambulance and straight up just kick the bucket because it's just so expensive. It's expensive. The ambulance rides, they're ridiculous. Something else I was going to touch on there, but my brain is not completely braining today. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, I remember. I was going to say California kind of screws people with house insurance too. I don't know why I felt the need to just say that small part, because it's like a whole story to it, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll save that for another video. I apologize. If you like the video, please click subscribe, like the video, maybe share the video, help me out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any stories similar to the people we have shown today. I would appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.